Math 171, Module 1, Average Rate of Change. Our problem this time is to find the average rate of change for this graph on the interval 0, 3. Let's first discuss this notation here. Inside of these square brackets, you have two numbers. The first number is the start of an interval, and the 3 is the end of the interval. Let's try to mark those points on the graph. We're going to let x equal 0 at the beginning. That will be along this axis. Let's locate the place where x equals 0 on this line. It's going to be here at this position. Now we locate another point where x equals 3. Let's count 1, 2, and 3, and then place a marker on the graph where x equals 3. So now we know which places to start and which places to end. Let's now connect those two stars. So when we are asked for the average rate of change, we are looking for the rate of change of the dotted line I just drew. We don't care very much what happens in between the stars. We are only looking at the average rate of change. To find average rate of change, what we'll need is the equation for average rate of change, or ARC as it's sometimes called. We need to take y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We'll call the place where x equals 0 point 1 because that's the number that was given first. And the point at x equals 3 will be point number 2 because that's the point that was given second, where 1 represents the start of the interval and 2 represents the end of the interval. Let's now get our x and y values. At point 1, we have x equals 0. Now let's read the y value. It looks like -1 and now -2. We'll place -2 here. The x value we'll call x1, and the y value we'll call y1. Now let's go to point number 2. We already know from the interval that x will be 3. Now let's count the y value. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That seems to line up with the star quite nicely. So our point will be 3, 4. The 3 will be x2, and the 4 will be y2. Now let's place all of our numbers into the average rate of change formula. Our y2 was 4, and our y1 was -2. Divided by x2, which is 3, and x1, which is 0. Now we see a double negative on the numerator of this fraction. So let's rewrite the double negative as a positive. We'll have 4 plus 2 divided by 3 minus 0. For those of you who want to use calculators here, I'll caution you to make sure you put a pair of brackets around the numerator and a pair of brackets around the denominator. Now when we do the math, 4 plus 2 gives us 6, and 3 minus 0 gives us 3. Now take 6 divided by 3, and this will give us 2. So this tells us the average rate of change is 2.